Well,
No.
Oh, he can have a request to use their
Call the meeting in order. Oh, please rise. And ask to join me in a moment of reflection on business before us this evening. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, please take the roll.
Alderman Basso.
Here.
Alderman Violet.
Here.
Alderman Clifford.
Here.
Alderman Fulkerson.
Present.
Alderman Key.
Here.
Alderman Kromarski.
Here.
Alderman McGovern.
Here.
Alderman McGrogan.
Here.
Mayor, City Clerk, Treasurer, and Attorney are present.
All right. Under the consent calendar, there's no special presentations, right? Okay. Under consent calendar, we've got a number of items. The approval of minutes of the City Council meeting from July 17, 2018. The approval of the payroll and voucher list for the period ending August 3rd, 2018. The approval of the final request for tag days for the City of Palos Heights in accordance with the City Code. The American Heritage Sertoma Club for Candy Days, September 7th and 8th. Power Sertoma Candy Days, September 14th and 15th. Knights of Columbus Tootsie Rolls on September 21st and 22nd. And the Kiwanis Club of Palos Heights for their Peanut Day on September 28th. Also, a request for the Teal Ribbon Foundation to display their teal ribbons at various locations around Palos Heights during the month of September for National Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month. And the approval of a special request permit for the Park Villa Nursing and Rehabilitation Center at 12500 South Ridgeland to hold their annual Family and Friends Day on Saturday, August 25th, 2018, from 1 until 5 in the rear parking lot. Additional parking accommodations have been made with a neighboring church. The approval of a proclamation for the National Farmers Market Week, which is August 5th through 11th, 2018. With that, I'll approve a motion to approve the consent calendar.
So moved.
Moved by Alderman Kromarski, second by Alderman Clifford. Discussion, roll call.
Alderman Basso.
Aye.
Alderman Violet.
Yes.
Alderman Clifford.
Aye.
Alderman Fulkerson.
Yes.
Alderman Key.
Yes.
Alderman Kromarski.
Yes.
Alderman McGovern.
Yes.
Alderman McGrogan.
Yes.
I would like to take a little time here to read the proclamation. Ann Grazadas and a couple of her members of her committee are here, so we'll come up and receive this in a second. Whereas farmers and ranchers provide citizens with access to healthy, locally and regionally produced foods through farmers markets, which are expanding and evolving to accommodate the demands of a diverse array of agricultural products. And whereas farmers markets and other agricultural direct marketing outlets provide infrastructure to assist the distribution of farm and value-added products, thereby contributing to about $9 billion each year to the United States economy. And whereas farmers markets serve as significant outlets by which small to medium, new and beginning, and veteran agricultural producers market agricultural products, generating revenue and that support the sustainability of family farms and the revitalization of the rural communities nationwide. And whereas the City of Palos Heights recognizes the importance of expanding agricultural marketing opportunities that assist and encourage the next generation of farmers and ranchers to generate family farm income to help stimulate business development and job creation, build community connections through rural and urban linkages, and more. Therefore, now, to further awareness of farmers markets' contributions to American life, I, Robert Strauss, Mayor, do hereby proclaim the week of August 5th through 11th, 2018 as National Farmer Market Week in the City of Palos Heights, and call upon the citizens to contribute to celebrate the family farmers markets with appropriate observance and activities. And I also encourage the community to visit and shop in the Palos Heights Farmers Market, which is held every Wednesday through October 10th from 7 o'clock in the morning till 1 o'clock in the afternoon in the municipal parking lot. In witness, therefore, I set my hand upon this on the 7th day of August 2018. With that, Ann Grazadas, who has been instrumental in our farmers market, I'd like to her and the committee come up here. You guys have done a great job.
Thank you.
Would you like to say a few words? Maybe?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm here with Jan
All right,
Callipy. Thank you, Mayor and City Council, for offering us this proclamation. We're hoping everyone can come. Tomorrow, the Illinois Philharmonic Orchestra will be performing as part of the celebration of National Farmers Market Week. They also are housed here in Palos Heights, so it'll be It'll be a great day. Weather's supposed to be good, so they should be performing from 9:45 till 11:25. And we hope, everything's in the market right now. It's a great time to be at a farmer's market, so we hope that you all can join us. Thank you.
Thank you, man. You guys do a great job, and tomorrow with the Illinois Philharmonic is to kind of kick off. As many of you know, they have moved their performances here to Palos Heights starting last year, and they'll start their wrap-up. They'll start their season next couple months and run through the rest of the year. So if you get a chance, not only stop by tomorrow to the farmers market, but maybe buy a ticket and come out and hear some of the concerts they have over at the Trinity Christian College, which is a great venue for their performances, along with the Southwest Symphony also performing there. Other than that, I'm looking for a motion to approve the real estate contract for the purchase of residential property located at 6597 West 127th Street at the purchase price of $235,000.
So moved.
Moved by Alderman Key, seconded by Alderman Clifford. Discussion? Roll call?
Alderman Basso.
Aye.
Alderman Violet.
Yes.
Alderman Clifford.
Aye.
Alderman Fulkerson.
Yes.
Alderman Key.
Yes.
Alderman Kromarski.
Yes.
Alderman McGrogan.
Yes.
Alderman McGovern.
Yes.
All right, thank you. All right. City Clerk?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have one announcement that the annual meeting of the Joint Review Boards has been scheduled for Thursday, August 16th here at City Hall as follows. The 127th and Harlem TIF at 10 o'clock, the Gateway TIF at 10:15. That's all I have. Thank you.
All right, thank you. We had to share a microphone. His is dead tonight, just so you understand that. All right, City Treasurer, any report?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. No report tonight.
City Attorney?
No report.
Any communications? Anyone? Alderman
Mr. Mayor, I
Kromarski?
do. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I am pleased to announce that on March 19th, 2018, Secretary of Defense James Mattis announced that President Trump has made the following nomination. Air Force Colonel Daniel T. Lasica has been nominated for the appointment to the rank of Brigadier General. At the time, Lasica was serving as the commander of the 20th Fighter Wing Air Combat Command at Shaw Air Force Base, South Carolina. On June 21st, 2018, Brigadier General Lasica took command of the U.S. Air Force Base in Aviano, Italy. It is a 2-year assignment. The general has had various assignments in the United States. He has also served in Korea, Iraq, and Afghanistan, and has flown numerous combat missions over Iraq and Afghanistan. He is rated as a combat pilot with over 3,900 credited hours in the F-16, the C-208, the T-37, and the Mi-17. He also has 5 master's degrees. I am doing a little boasting because Brigadier General Daniel Lasica is the son of Don and Kathy Lasica of Ward 3, Palos Heights. So God bless this fine, brave, outstanding man. Keep him safe, and God bless America. I have a photo of the general.
Any other communications? Anyone else tonight? All right. City Attorney? Citizens wishing to address the council? Name and address, please.
Mayor David Sasson, attorney, 9501 West 144th Place, Orland Park, Illinois. I'm here to address the council on item number 10, and I can address it now or wait until that motion is made. I have some brief comments to make on behalf of my client. Mr. Vanderland is here as well.
It's number 9 you're talking about.
Yeah, but I'm here on number 10.
Oh.
So I just
okay.
want to let you know.
Okay, fine. Very good. Thanks, David. All right. Any other citizens? Yes. All right. Name and address, please.
Barbara Pasquinelli, 12210 Cheyenne Drive, Palos Heights, 50-year resident of this fine town. And here are some other fine towns I've been looking at. Burr Ridge, Palos Park, Naperville, Hinsdale, Elmhurst, Evanston, Glen Ellen, Barrington, Arlington Heights, Northbrook, Oakbrook, Oak Park, Highland Park, Frankfort, Evergreen Park, Deerfield, Clarendon Hills. Everybody, I think, would agree these are fine communities. People aspire to live there for very good reasons. You might guess they do not permit video gambling. They are outstanding towns doing well without the 5%, the paltry 5% that towns receive from video gambling receipts. I hear a lot about leveling the playing field for businesses who would like to provide this for their people. It's not our job to level the playing field. It's not your job. It's not the citizens of Palos Heights' job to level any playing field. Businesses are their own bosses. It's up to them to provide good products without extra entertainment that most of the citizens in this town do not want. I thought it was over. I thought we were finished with it. And now it's back again because people are worried that they're not making enough money because people are going to Worth or Alsip or Crestwood or whatever. I have a suggestion regarding extra income or successful restaurants slash bars or bars slash restaurants. A person here in town has solved that problem very, very nicely. She offers large portions, good food, and huge drinks. I think that is a recipe for success over and above video gambling. People in this town are not kids. Most of us are over the hill. And we don't want to go into a restaurant where this is going on. I don't have any little children anymore. Don't care about that. It just is a bad look. And I urge you to just stop it in its tracks. We don't need a referendum. Orland had a referendum. They decided, well, it wasn't strong enough. We're going to go ahead. But they're on hold now too because they think they can put all sorts of restraints in. They're about to find out that they can't. And once the door is open, anything can come in. We might say we don't want video cafes with cute names, but they can come in once the door is opened. So I think if it's possible to just stop it now and let it go. The decision was made, and the decision was made. We should stick with it.
Thanks, Barbara. Any other citizens?
Jim Steele, 51 Elm Court, Palos Pines subdivision. We've had a series of water leaks on our Elm Court, 5 of them in the last 2.5 weeks, bad. My wife and I put together an email, sent it to Alderman McGovern, Alderman McGrogan. And within a day, I got a response from Alderman McGovern. He'd taken over the project. Within hours of that, Scott showed up, explained to my wife in detail what was going on, what was going to be done. Carl was out there every leak, informed us, the neighbors, what was going on. Every member of Public Works was polite, cordial. They even sent out what I called a water wagon when everything was over and hosed the street down. I can't thank you guys enough. And Public Works, Mayor Strauss, you got a good group.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other citizens? Lee, please.
Hi, Mr. Mayor and council members. My name is Erin Mercer, and I live at 12931 South Sycamore Lane. I'm here because I believe it is important to make you aware of an incident that happened involving Jim Vanderlaan. I'm not telling this story because I want to play the role of victim. I just want you to know the tactics he is using. On Tuesday, July 24th, I attended the meeting here regarding the zoning issue for the lot on 76th Avenue owned by Vanderlaan Construction. I did not speak at the meeting, but I was there to show my concern with the potential flooding issues on my property. We live in the house directly southwest of the vacant lot. Mr. Vanderlaan sat directly behind me at the meeting. At the conclusion of the meeting, I left and walked to my car by myself. I did not realize anyone was following me. But as I got to my car, Mr. Vanderlaan yelled to get my attention. He was clearly agitated, and he demanded for me to give him my address. I refused, and I told him it was none of his business. This was intimidating because there was nobody else in the parking lot. I got in my car, and he walked back into City Hall. He was obviously not leaving the meeting. He was just following me so he could try and intimidate me. I did not feel safe. As I was pulling away, Alderman Clifford walked out of the building. I told him the story, and I immediately went home. I called my husband on the way home and told him what happened. As soon as I walked in the door, we looked out the window and noticed Mr. Vanderlaan in front of my house staring. I can only assume that he was again trying to intimidate us. This is not the first time that he has shown up to Palos Pines resident's house attempting to intimidate. We went outside and my husband asked him what he was doing. I called the police and they responded. I have a copy of the police report if anyone would like to see it. The officer said that Mr. Vanderlaan changed his story a few times as to why he was at our house. They basically told him to stay away from us, and if he bothered us again, he would be arrested. We heard Mr. Vanderlaan tell the police that I had no business being at the meeting. Again, this demonstrates that he was trying to silence us by using bullying and intimidation. What made this even more unsettling is the fact that I have 3 small children. I believe that you, as our elected officials, needed to hear this story. These tactics should not be tolerated in our community. A rational person should be able to plead their case and be willing to accept that not everyone will agree with them. It is unacceptable that this man feels the need to try to take matters into his own hands and silence me. He clearly doesn't feel that I have the right to express concerns about an issue that has direct effect on my property. No matter what happens with the vote tonight regarding this zoning issue, please know that Mr. Vanderlaan has already done damage to Palos Pines. He has made our family question our safety. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other citizens? If not, Finance Committee?
No report, Mr. Mayor.
Public Safety, Alderman McGovern.
Mr. Mayor, I have no report. I just want to let everybody know that tonight is the National Night Out. We'll go across the street after the meeting, the police department. They have a nice setup of all their equipment, everything else for everybody to turn around and sit and see what a good job our police department really does. Okay, and then I have 2 more things that I want to bring up tonight. One is, please lock your cars. We've been having a series of burglary from autos, not only in Palos Heights, but in all the surrounding communities. So please lock your cars. A lot of these cars that people have been breaking into have been unlocked. Okay? And then the third thing I want to bring out is, in this heat, summertime, when you go to the store or something like that, please don't leave your children, don't leave your pets in a locked car in a 90-degree weather where the temperatures inside that car can exceed 120 degrees very easily. Okay, if you're going to have to take your pet, leave them at home, leave them in the air conditioner. Okay, that's all I really have to say.
Thank you, Mr. Governor.
Thank you.
Municipal Grounds and Property, Alderman Basso.
Yes, Mayor, I have no items on the agenda, but I would just like to say it's nice to hear from a resident complimenting Public Works. I can honestly say I don't recall a resident complaining about the actions of a Public Works member, so thank you very much.
All right. Planning and Zoning, Alderman Clifford.
1 second. Oh, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Motion to adopt an ordinance rezoning property located at 12930 South 76th Avenue from R to R1. Ordinance was referred back to committee on June 2nd, 2017. I believe Mr. Solerson is going to say a few words about it.
Moved by Alderman Clifford. Is there a second? Dies for lack of a second.
No second, motion dies. Dale, you can go ahead.
I think it's a fundamental right of a property owner in Illinois to have a request considered by a city council or a board or municipality. In Illinois, the right to zoning is a balance between the public and the discretion of the board as opposed to the right of the property owner. Since 1957, 2 years before this village was incorporated, the Supreme Court of Illinois has mandated that bodies such as this consider 6 factors in determining whether a property is to be rezoned. And the most important one has always been the zoning nearby. I have for you one simple exhibit, and the property that's circled is my client's property. Everything around it that's brown is the R1, and this is your zoning map. That clearly demonstrates a right to my client to use his property under the R1 zoning. Also to be considered is to the extent which property values around it might be diminished, the extent to which damage to the owner of the property promotes somehow some legitimate interest of the village, the relative gain to the public versus the loss of the owner of the property, the suitability of property for the requested zoning. Your zoning in R1 requires 11,000 square foot lots. My client has proposed a subdivision that would allow for, down the road, 3 lots of approximately 15,000 square feet each. And the length of time the property has been vacant. I suppose I have no illusions about what's going to happen tonight without a second, but it's very disappointing to my client how this thing has been handled. In 2017, the Zoning Board of Appeals looked at the issues and approved it. This council voted to rezone the property last year. The property hasn't changed, but perhaps some discussions between the elected officials results in this. It was then asked that we send this matter to the engineers. Your engineers looked at it and gave preliminary engineering approval just a few weeks ago. And finally, subdivision issues were asked, and I think those matters were reviewed by the village attorney. In short, this property complies in every way with not only the law, but also the ordinances of the village. No variations are requested. This is a simple request tonight for a rezoning. It's a shame. There's over 12,000 citizens in this city. We're aware that 2 or 3 came to the meeting and were feeling not that the zoning shouldn't be approved, but they didn't want 3 houses on the property. Now, to turn down the zoning at all is just, it's very disappointing, and my client's going to have to evaluate what his legal rights are outside of the village. Thank you for hearing me. I don't want to take any more of your time. There's a lot of people here on, I think, some other issues.
All right, thanks, David. Okay. So, without a second, nothing we can do. All right. Anything else, Clifton?
No, that's the end of my report, Mr. Mayor. It's the only item we have tonight.
Recreation, Alderman Key?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to make a motion to award the Palos Heights Tennis Court renovation project to the low bidder, Evans & Son Blacktop Incorporated, in the amount of $236,730, based on the review of the bids and the recommendation of Tesca Associates.
Second. Alderman Key, seconded by Alderman Violet. Discussion? Roll call.
Alderman Violet.
Yes.
Alderman Kromarski.
Yes.
Alderman Basso.
Aye.
Alderman Fulkerson.
Yes.
Alderman Key.
Yes.
Alderman McGrogan.
Yes.
Alderman McGovern.
Yes.
Alderman Clifford.
Aye.
And then this Thursday is the final summer concert in the park, and it's featuring the band 95th Street Band. And all of our concerts this year have been very well attended, and the musicians that have been playing are very good. But this is an outstanding group, And if you've never attended a concert in the park, this would be a fantastic opportunity to come out, eat in town somewhere and then come on over to the concert at 7 o'clock. It's from 7 to 8:30, 95th Street Band. And then the final movie of the park is on the 16th at dusk. They're showing the movie E.T., also in Memorial Park by the gazebo. And then even though it's 5 weeks away, Lake Catherine's Butterfly Fest is coming up on the 16th. That's one of the biggest events that Lake Catherine holds. It's from 11 o'clock to 4:30, and you can get a Groupon for that event to save a little money for your family. So check out Groupon on the internet and join us at the Butterfly Festival. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, sir. Roads and Construction, Alderman Komorski.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. No report.
I just want to say the road program continues to go on, and it seems like they're doing a good job. It's the first time we've used Lindau, I know, but it's actually probably Shepherd was purchased by Lindau, so it's the same players, different name. But
You had no complaints?
They're doing a good job, so I appreciate
Yes,
it.
they have.
License, permits, and franchises, Alderman McGrogan.
Mr. Mayor, no report this evening.
Water and Sewer, Alderman Violet.
No report, Mr. Mayor.
Business and Economic Development, Alderman Key again.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So, a week from Friday, the August 17th, is our Welcome Back Trinity program. It's from 10 o'clock in the morning until 2 in the afternoon. This is a event that we've been holding for the last 6 years to welcome the incoming freshmen and their family to the Trinity campus and to develop a relationship between our business community and the students at Trinity. So a lot of the businesses in town offer a 10% discount, some of them for the first month of school, others for the entire year. So because we want to get the kids off of campus and using our businesses in town. And the food vendors in town, our pizza places and things, have been very generous in the past and again this year are providing food for the incoming freshmen and their families that day at noon. In a couple of weeks when we have our next city council meeting, I'll share those businesses that have been so generous feeding the families. But that's very well received, and we look forward to doing that again this year. And that concludes my report.
All right, thank you, sir. Ad hoc cable, Alderman Fulkerson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. For those of you that are watching live tonight, you've probably noticed a new camera angle. That's because Channel 4 recently received 2 new cameras that are installed on the north walls of the council chamber, and they enable complete coverage of the room now. Channel 4 is also scheduled to receive new carpeting and acoustical panels to reduce noise in critical areas of the editing and playback room. And in addition, the recording studio will have installation of new audio and wireless systems, lightings, and camera to be completed to complement the ability to handle multiple guests. To date, 2018, Channel 4 has produced 121 originate audio shows, video shows, to support government transparency, community awareness, and economic development. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
All right. Under old business, this is a motion that's been actually was introduced under new business a couple of meetings ago and brought back here now. No matter what my personal feelings are, or your other people's here, it's actually not germane at this point in time. This is basically to, since based on the actions of former councils, any reconsideration of gambling has to go to a referendum, and so that's what this motion is. So the motion is to approve and adopt a resolution for submission of an advisory public question to the electors of City of Palos Heights regarding whether to permit video gaming within the corporate limits of the City of Palos Heights in accordance with the Video Gaming Act 230, Illinois 4-1. So entertain a motion to that effect.
I'll make the motion.
Moved by Alderman McGovern. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Alderman McGrogan. Discussion?
And this is non-binding, correct?
Right. Roll call.
Alderman Basso.
Aye.
Alderman Violet.
Yes.
Alderman Clifford.
Yes.
Alderman Fulkerson.
Yes.
Alderman Key.
Yes.
Alderman Kromarski.
Yes.
Alderman McGovern.
Yes.
Alderman McGrogan.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Motion
Now,
carried.
this is just so the residents could have their say one way or the other on
Be
this.
on the
because-
ballot in November elections, right?
Right, because beforehand, that wasn't that way. So this way, you can come out and vote on these issues.
Right,
and
exactly.
express the thing, just like they did for the bonds issue.
Right, yeah, this is not, just to put it on the ballot for November. Okay. All right, citizens wishing to ask questions? Any old business? New business?
Yeah, one
Yep.
warning, again, the IRS is out there calling you last call. If you get another call on there, don't take them for real. They're out there threatening to take your firstborn again if you don't pay up. And they're gonna send some people over to your door and get you. I get the calls constantly. I just got the latest one today.
You got another one today?
Oh, yeah, and I'm still here I keep waiting for these people to come and get me, but they never show up. But anyway,
Where are you gonna be tomorrow? I'll tell them you're in there.
yeah,
They
but
just
if you
closed
do get
down the
them,
first one.
yeah.
They just closed down the first one a week ago.
But if you get the call, it's a scam, like the rest of them asking you for the normal information. Don't do it. Just hang up. That's the best way to do it.
Entertain a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Whoop, I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Reconvene the meeting, Mayor?
Yes.
I appreciate that.
Move to,
Reconvene.
excuse me, move to reconvene
Second.
the
All in
council
favor?
meeting.
Aye.
Thank you, I appreciate that. My name is Alicia Wasmiller. I'm at 12507 South Melvina. And
I'm Gloria O'Kane. I'm at 7600 Carmichael Drive.
we also have other individuals behind us that are here representing or supporting us. I'm not as prepared as some of the other individuals here. I apologize. However, I'd like to address the chicken ordinance that I believe that you guys have addressed for over a year, but without any involvement from the community. I think that it was just a lot of discussion between the city council members, and we have reached out to our community for the most part, almost unsolicited, just sending out a petition at Diane's place, which we appreciate very much. And we've had already hundreds of signatures in support of the chickens. And I would ask if you would reconsider the ordinance. I know Alderman McGrogan, I spoke to you on the phone, and you and another individual had approved or had motioned to get it going, and I had also voted yes, and then there were some nays, and I understand the concerns, and I have no problems helping you alleviate those concerns. But as you know, the city of Palos Heights began as an open farmland that was cultivated into lots called farmettes, that each farmette came with 12 trees and 6 grapevines, and buyers were also encouraged to try chicken farming, receiving several incubated chicken eggs. Now, we have some neighbors who lived here long enough to have received those chicken eggs and are in support still of having backyard chickens. Now, with these chickens, we're not talking about having millions of chickens all over the place free ranging. We are talking about 3 chickens in a little cage so that we can have fresh eggs for our family. Involvement with our children. They're almost like pets in a way because they are very personal and personable, very social. The concerns that I think that you may, I don't know if you ever addressed it in the community, but I think that there was concerns about predators or maybe mice or things like that. But I can assure you that if anybody would be concerned about a mice problem, it would be in the house problem, meaning that mice nest 10 to 20 feet from food sources. So if a chicken coop is out in the backyard, you are not going to get mice from your neighbors who have chickens. You're going to get mice because you have food in your house that they're attracted to. The chickens
will eat the mice. They eat them. So if you have mice coming to your chickens, they won't stay for very long because they will either be eaten or they will just not nest near there because they will not have the food. Predators. I think the one that would be most concerning is the coyotes, which we all know we have coyotes here because we have an abundance of rabbits. Chickens are not going to bring more coyotes in, and this is the reason. One, they have a smorgasbord of food already available to them with the rabbits and the squirrels and the chipmunks and the birds. Chickens coop up at night in a house. Coyotes come out at night to feed. They are opportunistic, meaning that they want to they are attracted to anything that they can access easily. They're going to see that the chickens are in a coop, quiet, closed up. They're not going to bother. And this is information that I've gotten from, ironically, the Cook County Forest Preserves, which we are part of, and the Friends of Coyotes. So I have tons of sources if you need it. As we know, there's a lot of benefits to having chickens and having the licenses for chickens. There's added revenue for yearly fees. There's obviously the sense of community. There is the recognition of sustainability, which we were just talking about with the farmers market, which thank you very much. The farmers market, we have a lot of support from the attendees of the farmers market, and that has been some of our signatures as well. As we know, a more desirable place to live and more attractive to those who support sustainability, farm-to-table lifestyle, local businesses and farmers markets, and living green, which we have been seeing more of in our community between the Harvest Room and Franklin's, and I think what the majority of the individuals here are proud of. So there's also benefits to the chicken keeper, which I won't bore you with because they're very similar. But the one thing that I also wanted to mention, and we have another individual here who had talked about cities that we aspire to, villages and towns that we feel are affluent and just ones that we aspire to. The cities around and the municipalities around Palos Heights already allow backyard chickens with restrictions, which is what we're asking for. Hens only, maybe 3, I don't know, we'll work out like a number. Some of these towns, villages, and cities include, obviously, Palos Hills, Palos Park, Tinley Park, Homewood, Homer Glen, Oak Lawn, LaGrange, Downers Grove, Naperville, Lamont, North Riverside, Countryside, Westmont, Joliet, the entire city of Chicago, Evanston, unincorporated Cook County. Now, my backyard is the end line from incorporated and unincorporated. That means that unincorporated Cook County can have chickens. That means my backyard neighbor can have chickens. We're not in a little square here where it's like one place here, and this is unincorporated. It's all embedded. So our neighbors already have chickens. Our municipality neighbors already have chickens. So I'm a little confused as to why that would be a concern for us.
You'd have to go back to committee. This was already at committee and denied, so you'd have to come back with that, address the committee with the concerns?
Yes.
Because it's already been a dead issue?
It's been a dead issue because it wasn't brought up with the community.
No, I understand, but what
determined.
I'm saying, if you want to bring it back, you'll have to bring it and resubmit it to committee.
All right.
What you're doing tonight, because right now it's sort of a moot point. I would recommend you go back to the committee and bring them your report, what you got there, that you may or may not have before.
Okay.
Be the best way to do it.
And we have many more signatures? Is it something that?
You can give them to.
It's my committee.
We
It's
could,
his
okay.
committee.
I don't have all of them here because
You
there's
wait till you get them all, call for, on the agenda, put on a minute, and submit those at that time.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, before we get too far down the wrong road, we just voted on this and it got voted down. So could maybe our city attorney speak to this? Is there a possibility of this even being brought up at committee?
There's never an end. You can always bring up the same issue over and over.
Sure.
And over.
Well, I would like to keep in mind, hopefully you would keep in mind, Alderman Key, is when you voted, please think of not yourself and what your own opinion is, but think of the opinion of your community. And if you're seeing the majority of your community in support, then
I didn't
would
say
be
I
that.
supported or didn't. I just don't want you leaving this room thinking that 2 weeks from now, we're going to come back in here and vote on it again, because that's not going to happen. So I don't want you under any false
Let's go back
pretense.
through the committees, which you get it through us. To
You have
us in
to get a motion of reconsideration to reconsider it, and you have to go through the formality of that.
Okay, I
Simple as
appreciate
that.
that. All right,
Yep.
thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, now, entertain a motion to.
One thing,
Yes.
I have a special guest.
Okay.
May I introduce her?
Sure.
All right. She's over there waving.
All right. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Yeah.